Hi, I'm Sam here at Rick Jones Pianos with a Yamaha Model U1 that was built in 1987 in Hamamatsu, Japan. This is the very common 48-inch model in the very common gloss ebony, which is very popular, especially in more contemporary furniture styles. It's a well-known, well-respected, and highly recommended piano model with good reason. They're very easy for us technicians to service. In my opinion, Yamaha did an excellent job designing this piano just to make it easy to take apart, easy to make any necessary adjustments to make sure all the parts are working correctly, and also to tune it. They just tune up really easily. So when that happens, we get really good results when we work on them as technicians, and those good results translate into happier clients in their homes who have the piano and are pleased with the results. A lot of it comes down to just how consistent Yamaha is with their quality control, which is legendary in the piano business. And it also makes Yamaha uprights without a hesitation an easy recommendation for piano teachers to make for their students, because their teachers want their students to continue to make progress, and one of the things that hinders progress is a piano that's not working correctly because the student gets frustrated and they might give up. That won't be the case on this piano. It plays beautifully, just super even and neutral all throughout the scale. There's no surprises or interruptions in the way the key moves. It just works. And that is precisely the type of piano that piano teachers want their students practicing on, and one that just gets the job done and sounds good while it's doing it too. And that's why these pianos are so often recommended by both teachers and technicians. They're just really reliable, in my opinion. And this one is yet another example of it. I kind of didn't think about the tone and touch on this piano. I was just playing it, enjoying it. If you play it more loudly, you can get a brighter, more bold, brilliant sound out of it. If you play it more softly, you can get more of a delicate, softer, warmer tone. And the subtlety is there in the touch. You don't lose any notes when you're playing too soft. It just plays even softer for you. The notes register. You've got all the subtlety available to you in between the extremes of soft and loud. And the piano, I mean, that's, in my opinion, something that a lot of companies struggle with, manufacturers struggle with in making an upright piano, because the upright piano action, the hammer mechanism, is just by the limits of its design, not as responsive as a grand piano action. No upright piano action ever will be. In my opinion, Yamaha did an excellent job compensating as much as possible for those limitations and making their pianos uprights play as close as possible to grand pianos, and I think that's another reason why teachers recommend these pianos so much. They play really well for a more modest piano that they would recommend for a beginner to intermediate student. Currently, I'll rate the tone of 5 on a scale from 1 to 10. Neither too bright nor too mellow. It just goes wherever you want it to go. And touch, likewise, not too hard, not too easy to my fingers. It was just right in the middle, a 5 on a scale from 1 to 10, from light to firm. And it's a 5 and 5 piano is often exactly the type of piano I recommend for shoppers coming in who are new to pianos and maybe don't know what sort of piano they would prefer to have. In my opinion, if you start with a piano that's neutral in pretty much every musical characteristic, you'll have an easier time adapting later on to a piano that's different, so mellower, brighter, with an easier, harder touch, and that's maybe what you will find in school if you're a student. In my opinion, when you're practicing at home with a piano that's in the middle of all that, you'll have an easier time adapting. So, highly recommended, I think, this piano, for that reason. And of course, like everything else we sell, it has a 10-year warranty, all parts and labor, and a 100% lifetime trade-up guarantee. Just please make sure it's in tune twice a year by a professional technician, and that you keep it in moderate, stable humidity. Doing so is important for any piano, no matter the brand name or the size or the type. And in my opinion, Yamahas treat you very well when you take good care of them. They're workhorses, they're easy to service. If something does go wrong, a technician can fix it easily compared to some other brands of piano. And you can expect a long musical life out of this piano, many decades, I think, still ahead of it, as long as you take good care of it. But if you do wish to trade up in the future, you may do so for precisely this instrument sales price, and merely pay the difference in price between the first piano and the second piano, plus any tax and shipping if it pertains. And that's one reason why teachers recommend our store so often. They want their students to start on something modest but well made, like a Yamaha upright, and as to get better, that's when the teacher recommends a grand piano. So it's an option you can take later on. Oh, and one more thing, it does have a middle pedal practice mute, as these pianos so often do have. It's a curtain of felt that goes between the hammers and the strings. You can press the pedal down, holds itself in place when you shift to the left. And instead of the hammer striking the string directly, it strikes it indirectly, making it much softer. So, especially good if you have a row home or apartment and you don't want to disturb your neighbors at any time of day. So, please stop by. You can play this or anything else in our inventory. If you can't make it, you can always give us a phone call or send us an email, but we do hope to see you here.